Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into engine tick noises, what they mean and how to identify them, and when you should be concerned. By the end of this video, you'll know whether you're dealing with a minor issue or facing a major teardown. Let's get started. First, we need to distinguish between a tick and a knock. Knocks are more serious and often indicate internal engine damage, and they sound like this. If you hear this, stop driving your vehicle immediately and get your vehicle inspected by a certified mechanic. Ticks, on the other hand, are common and are not always a problem. Let's break it down further. There are many ticking sounds under the hood that are completely normal. For example, fuel injectors opening and closing, relays turning on and off, and sometimes evap solenoids activating. This is what it sounds like when some of those components are faulty.
Really hard to unplug. There we go.
Here are a few examples of what normal valve train noise sounds like. These sounds can sometimes trick us into thinking there's a bigger problem, so make sure you're familiar with what's normal. Here is what normal valve train noise sounds like when you have a louder than normal high pressure fuel pump. A louder than normal high pressure fuel pump doesn't necessarily indicate an issue with the fuel pump. To accurately pinpoint where the noise is coming from, use a mechanic's stethoscope. You can point the hose at various areas of the engine to isolate the sound. If you don't have one, it's no problem. Just grab some rubber garden hose and use it the same way. I've linked the stethoscope in the description if you want to pick one up. The dreaded GM lifter tick, something we've all heard about. This noise is often caused by issues with DOD or AFM lifters. It sounds like metal tools tapping together. Sometimes it can sound like metal tools tapping together and have a mechanical chirp. Here's an example of what that sounds like. It can be hard to locate with just your ear, which is why that stethoscope comes in handy. Another noise, often confused with lifter tick, is an exhaust leak. These are common in GM engines due to loose or broken manifold bolts. Here's what an exhaust leak sounds like. A dead giveaway to an exhaust leak is a black carbon buildup around the manifold where the leak occurs. Misfires are another symptom often linked to valve issues. A misfire feels like a skip at idle, and the check engine light might flash. Here's what that looks like. Common codes that you will see with a misfire are P0300, which is your random misfire code. If you have codes P0301, P0304, P0306, or P0307, those are DOD AFM cylinders. If you have a misfire on one of those cylinders, 1, 4, 6, or 7, there's a good chance that a DOD lifter has gone bad. One of the most common noises mistaken for lifter tick is coil arcing. It sounds sharp and crackly like this.
He was saying that it just started making a ticking noise. It seems like it's running okay, but it's making a ticking noise. It does not have a check engine light. So I said, well, let me take a look. I don't know if you can actually see the problem from where you are as of yet. So I was kind of curious as to what it could possibly be. So started looking, and I listened with my stethoscope, didn't really hear nothing. But it sounds to me like an arcing noise, you know, like a coil. But it really doesn't have much of a misfire. So I disconnected the coil on number 1, and now it's actually misfiring. Connect it back up, and misfire is actually gone. Disconnect it, it's got a misfire. Come to find out, plug wire is actually off the coil.
Train your ear to recognize the difference between a snappy arc and a steady lifter tick. If you are seeing a P0324 knock sensor performance code, it doesn't mean the sensor is necessarily faulty. This code indicates the sensor is picking up unusual engine noise, often a sign of lifter tick or other internal issues. If you've diagnosed your engine noise as lifter tick, unfortunately the heads will need to come off. Further inspection of the valve train will be required to fix the problem. I hope this video was helpful in identifying engine ticks and knowing what they mean. Remember, not all ticks are bad, but the ones that are need immediate attention. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.